Today I am discussing about success and talk about the keys to success, some habits of successful people. There is a difference between knowing the lesson versus living the lesson. To show that it's the action of doing it, the consistent action of living it in your life, that makes these things hard to do. It's not hard to know what it takes to be successful, but it's harder to actually live it out. So first things first, the most important thing you have to do is define what success means to you, because success can mean different things to different people. Some people want a fast-paced life where they're doing a lot of things, getting a lot done. Others want a slower-paced life. And there's no right or wrong. What matters is that you reflect and you decide for yourself what success looks like to you, and then you set out to achieve it. The common mistake that most people make, is to aim for a version of success that is not your own, a version of success that is imposed on you by your parents, by society or your peers. You are only going after this path or this goal because you think that's what you should do, because that's what you've been told to do. That's what you've been told is ideal. The notion of success is so relative that you can't judge your version of success to another person's version of success. No one is better than the other. We all are different things and that's okay. You shouldn't judge other people for what they want and vice versa. They shouldn't judge you for what you want. The last note on success before jumping into all the habits is to note that there is a difference between external success and internal success. External success is appearing successful on the outside. You have the money, you have the material things, you have the friends, the family, everything on the outside. And then internal success is feeling successful on the inside. And I would say internal success is so much more important. Obviously, they go hand in hand. You know, you have to get things in the external material world to validate how you feel about things. But as you're achieving things in the outside world, I want you to remember that it's more important to feel successful on the inside, to feel proud of yourself, to feel happy, because that's where true success lies. You can have all the external success, all of the money in the world, all the clothes and cars in the world, but you might not have the internal success. You might not feel good about yourself. The beautiful thing is, you can actually start to feel successful right now, because all it is a feeling to look back and be proud of yourself for what you've done, be grateful for how far you've come. All of those things are feelings. The feeling helps perpetuate the external material success, which helps you boost your own confidence, which is the internal feeling. And then it's just a positive cycle that keeps you going on and on. Alright, so now I'm going to share a list of key habits and mindsets that have contributed to success. It's all about what you are actually putting into action, what you are living rather than just what you know. The first key to success is 1. Learning to be in control of your mindset. One of the most important things you can do for yourself is learn to manage your mind, meaning recognizing that you are actually the one who's in control of your thoughts and you can decide which thoughts to feed and which thoughts to just be like, I see you, but I'm just going to let you go and not take you so seriously. Learning to manage your mind is essentially learning tactics like having a positive mindset, learning to change your perspective on things, testing different perspectives so that you can see a situation from all angles rather than just one angle, and also learning to change your self-talk. The first step is becoming aware of the negative thoughts that you might be saying to yourself, because we can be really mean to ourselves in our mind. And then after that, deciding what positive self-talk would you rather invite into your life and would you rather give more time and energy into, instead of putting all this energy into hating yourself and putting yourself down, because, you guys, there is no productivity in that. Learning to take control of whatever's going on up here is so key to success. Number 2 is follow your heart, follow your intuition. You have an inner voice inside that is telling you what it wants and it's up to you, whether you want to listen to it or not. But each of us has that inner compass in a way that's directing us, that's guiding us to where we're meant to go. But sometimes we choose to ignore it. Sometimes we're so dense that we don't even hear it. But learning to develop your relationship with your inner self so that you hear yourself, you hear deep down what you want, where you want to go, what's exciting to you, what you're curious about, that is the voice that you have to follow. You have to listen to it, Because if you just follow what other people tell you, you're going to be led astray, because they don't hear what you're hearing within. And although everybody gives you guidance out of love, it's okay to take people's advice, obviously, but know that, deep down, you have the answers within. That's why I talk about journaling and meditating so often, because journaling is a way to communicate with myself. And the more you journal, the more I understand who I really am at your core and what I really want out of life. You honestly will never be led astray if you are following your own inner compass. 3. Believing in yourself, having confidence, trusting in your vision. All of those things are super important for success, because you have to be very strong in believing in your vision, believing that it is possible, and also believing in yourself, believing that you have what it takes to get there. And that is what a lot of people do struggle with in the beginning, because how can you believe in yourself if you have nothing to prove, no track record? And that is where, faith comes in, and you kind of have to fake it till you make it. Number 4 is you have to be willing to act despite fear. And this means you have to be willing to take the risk, take the leap, because you understand that it's going to be hard. It's going to be scary and very uncertain. Growth happens outside of your comfort zone. People who are successful always know how to stretch the boundaries of their comfort zone, always step outside of it and do things that make them uncomfortable, do things that are scary and different that they've never done before, in order to push past a certain boundary and grow. And that is one of the biggest things that I believe contributes to someone's success, is the willingness to step outside of the comfort zone and do something scary and different. We talk about it all the time, but it's something that you have to ask yourself. Have I been living this? Have I really been doing things outside of my comfort zone? Have I been pushing my boundaries? Have I been doing things that scare me? 5. Successful people are willing to learn and figure things out. When they come across an obstacle, they're willing to move through it in any way that they can. And Marie Forleo says it so well. She says everything is figure-outable. And you have to have that mindset that if you come to something and you're stuck, you're like, I don't know what to do next, instead of staying there paralyzed, like most people would do. Most people would just stop right there, or they might avoid the problem. People who are successful look at the problem and they ask, okay, how can I get through this? How can I my way through this, whether I need to learn a new skill, whether I need to ask for help? A willingness to learn is so huge. And it's something that I attribute a lot of fast success to, because in entire journey, and they can be applicable to many different careers and opportunities. Investing in yourself, sitting down, spending a day to take a course, that in itself can allow you to reap in benefits and rewards for many. 6. Successful people take action. They don't waste time overthinking and overanalyzing. They just do the thing. It's so simple and it's so obvious, but a lot of people just don't do. A lot of people just stay stuck and paralyzed in fear. You are not going to get anywhere if you don't take action. No matter how smart you are, no matter how prepared you are, no matter how much planning you've done, if you don't take action, you're just going to stay where you are. It's as simple as that. Successful people know how to take action, despite not feeling ready, despite not having all the information or all of the preparation or all the knowledge. They just do it. It's only through taking action that you will receive feedback, whether that is positive feedback or negative feedback. Both are useful, because positive feedback is like people telling you, you did a great job. I really like this. That is useful information. And then negative feedback is criticism, failure, mistakes, and that is even more useful than positive feedback. And you only get feedback after you take action. That brings me to number 7, which is 7, continuous learning. Successful people are always learning non-stop. They're learning from feedback. They're learning from failures. I call it conscious steering, because you're in a car and you want to get to your destination, but you don't exactly know how to get there. So you start going straight and then you get feedback like, okay, this is wrong. Turn this way. And then this is wrong. Turn this way. So you're just steering as you go. And that's the journey. The journey is learning from the positive and the negative feedback, and also not being afraid to fail. Failure is one of the biggest ways to learn from your journey. They say, if you've never failed, then you've never really tried. Failing is not a bad thing. Failing just means that you've tried and it's okay. As long as you take that experience and you learn from it, then that is a productive experience. Continuous learning also incorporates reading books, reading articles, just absorbing all the knowledge and information that you can endlessly, because the journey never ends. And always remaining humble and have the mindset that I don't know everything. There's so much out there that I have yet to learn, so I'm going to set out and learn it. 8. Behave like a pro. People who are successful, they treat themselves and see themselves as a pro, even before they actually are a pro or expert at what they're doing. But there's two different mindsets. There's the mindset of an amateur and a mindset of a pro. So if you truly want to be successful, you have to ask yourself, how would I behave if I were a pro at what I'm doing? How would I behave if I were the best at what I'm doing? And that shifts your mindset. This is inspired by the book, Turning Pro by Steven Pressfield, which I recommend you read if you want to seriously become a pro at what you do, because it's all about the mindset. But it's not just about how you carry yourself, like carrying yourself with confidence and believing yourself. It's also in the actions you take, the investments that you choose to make in yourself. Invest in good equipment. Invest in courses and just anything that help to grow and up level to a pro level. Number 9 is 9, consistency in showing up and doing the work. So this is different from just taking action, because action is action. But consistency is doing the same small things, every single day, that will take you towards your goal, because it really is the small baby steps that compound to create growth and transformation. Consistency is like showing up right, showing up to create, showing up to do whatever it is you told yourself that you would do. And consistency is tough. It's not easy. It's one of the things that I struggled with in the beginning, and I still struggle with it today, because showing up every day is a choice. And sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes we get unmotivated. But the people who can have that discipline to show up no matter what, and that is what will get you far. Number 10, being committed for the long haul. I don't feel like I have to explain this because it's self-explanatory. When you say you're going to commit to something, you're going to commit and for the long term too. So having a long-term vision and not giving up so easily, that is so key to success. And also having patience and perseverance. To stay committed and to have stamina for the long journey, having patience, because it's not going to come to you right away. You don't know when you're going to succeed. You don't know when it's all going to happen for you. You just have to be patient and keep doing that consistent action. And then perseverance is not taking no for an answer, not letting obstacles stop you and just pushing your way through everything that comes to you. You might have hard years. You might have challenging times. But the fact that you are resilient, that you pick yourself up and you just keep going, that is what makes a successful person. 11. Successful people leverage habits to their advantage. What I mean by that is, they build positive habits to automate their growth. You build in positive habits that keep everything going, keep everything balanced and growing. For example, self-care habits like meditating, journaling, exercising every day, reading every day. These are habits that are built over time. And in the beginning, obviously with habits, you have to make an effort. You have to try. You have to be like, okay, remind myself to read, remind myself to exercise. But once you have the habit built in, it's just automatic. It's just like clockwork, like you wake up and you brush your teeth and you can't go on with your day until you finish brushing your teeth. So successful people leverage habits, and they understand how habits work, how to build a good habit, how to break a bad habit,